On guys, so today I felt like making a video, and I'm going to reply to a comment I had and made a video about what I think is wrong with the Bible, or why the Bible's wrong. And to be really honest with you, like, the Bible is awesome. Like, a lot of what the Bible says is great, and it's like, wisdom from the ancient times. And I think there's a lot in the Bible that's very useful. I think the problem comes in though when you're introduced to like other Christians and like, the churches and stuff and like what they believe. And it's like, it's almost like not the Bible, you know what I mean? Like, it's the Bible and then some. Cause like a lot of, you gotta dress a certain way, you gotta act a certain way, you gotta, like, it's these very specific things that the Bible isn't like teaching. And as far as that goes, like, the only real issue with that is like you're kind of taking a little bit of the exploration out of life. And there's a lot of things that if you're not exploring at a young age, for instance, banning, what do you call it? Premarital sex. Not like banning, but like, saying that's a sin and that you shouldn't do it and having this moral obligation to not do so. It can stunt your growth, Like, I feel like we all know that moment changes you. And it's supposed to happen when you hit puberty. So when you believe that you need to wait until marriage, and we live in a society where marriage isn't like socially acceptable at a young age, then I don't know, man. I feel like you're screwing yourself up a little bit at that point. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, and that's another thing too, like the whole premarital sex thing. Well, you'll see like a lot of people do if they believe that premarital sex is a sin, is that they'll get married with somebody like after a very short amount of time. And it's like, it's not like based off of how much you like the person. It's based off of how they fit into the church, Like I've seen this myself, and it's like, it's not really like it's a wrong thing, like to marry somebody quickly. It's just like, I don't know. It does bear that question, like how long, like how much preparation, how much thought have you really put into this, Cause, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's kind of a mute point. Yeah, I don't know. I think like the real, God is just love, And I think the Bible is trying to say that, but like it doesn't leave that much room for that to be actually the case. It's just there's too many human ideas that are woven into the idea of God, Like these human things that only matter to humans apparently matters to God, and I just don't see that being true. Like, there's a lot of like people who follow Jesus, and like they say like Jesus was very wrongly misinterpreted, and like the way we represent it now is just not what happened 2,000 years ago, It's like you'll hear people who study the ancient texts, and the modern renditions of the Bible are not correlating with the ancient texts at all. Like, it's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm not an expert at this, so whatever, like, whatever you do, take my word with a grain of salt, because, like, if you know more about it and, like, you think, I don't know, I might change my mind, like, I invite you to try to do that. Like, I'm not saying you can't, but I will say, like, evangelizing, you know, the youth and, like, other parts of the world, like, where they believe in other things, and, like, kind of splitting them mentally into believing one thing and believing the other, and, like, creating a conflict with them within themselves. I mean, I could see that as sinful, you know, but the Bible commands you to do it. So, like, you never really know. Like, these humans, these followers of Jesus could have very wrongly misinterpreted his message. And I'm sure they did. Like, I'm positive that, like people misinterpret the things that I say. So, and Jesus spoke in parables. It even says in the Bible, Jesus speaks in parables so only the wise can understand. So if everybody's listening, then they're all going to create their own ideas, and they're going to read into it and stuff. Like, it's just, that's just what happens. Yeah, but for God, man, God is the fabric of reality. God isn't he nor she. It's just like, it's everything. It's an energy. It's a material, and everything is made out of this material. And if you think about it more like that, I feel like it just kind of makes sense, because, like, what is everything if God's just this man in the sky? Like, I'm sure not many people actually think that, like, even if you are Christian. Like, I don't think Christians believe that there's a bearded man in the sky. But yeah, I don't know, man. I like the way I see God. And I believe that God is a part of me, is a part of you. And yeah, the only way to feel it is to just let go of your humanity, like your mindset, you know? There's got to be a clear slate before you can truly feel the presence of God. Like, all these thoughts, these voices that run in your head, you got to quiet that. And you got to just feel God without the logic, because God doesn't operate on logic. It's very simple stuff. I mean, love is often used as a synonym for God. So, to think, you know, that love doesn't go beyond all logic, you know, like love and logic, they aren't placed in the same bracket, you know. So why do we do that with God? Right? You're praying about these words, you know, you're praying these words to God, and it's like, I don't think that's bad, but if you want to, like, I feel like feeling God, feeling your desires, feeling things, like in an emotional way, rather than a logical way, is the best way to go about it. Because you're actually attuning yourself to that, and you're gonna leave your prayer experience, your meditative prayer experience, like, feeling the way that you wanted to feel. And the way that you feel affects the actions that you decide to partake in. So, well, without further ado, I think that's the closest definition of God that I could give you, that I believe myself. So, you can believe me or not. You know, it's cool. Yeah, like I said, I'm not an expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Alright, peace.